Back on the Eagles Sports Network in the Bojangles postgame report as Carson-Newman falls to Queens 75-68. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, a solid first half, but Queens stomps back in the second, outscores you 47-31, helped by an 18-4 run at one point. What was the difference between half one and half two?
You got to give credit to Queens, first of all. The first half, they probably shot more threes in terms of the percentages shots that they would normally take, and didn't pound the thing inside. The second half, they came out and just absolutely pounded the ball inside. I think took 4 threes the second half, and they were tougher, more physical, more purposed in what they were trying to do the second half than we were. I thought our kids really, really played well the first half in terms of coming into this great arena and really establishing a defensive tenor with holding them to 28 points. And then we scored the ball, efficiently enough, I guess. But then to come out the second half, and I don't know if I'd say we were flat, but we just got big boyed. We just got big boyed and out toughed around the basket. And, the reality is they're 7 foot, 6'8", 6'8".
Yeah.
And as you said before when we were off air, they got a Division I front line, and I don't necessarily disagree with you.
And that's not a perception thing. Two of those guys are
D1 transfers. Yeah.
Up, down.
Well,
down
the 7 foot kid was, I guess, was going to go to Kansas State, didn't qualify or something, and supposedly is an NBA a kid that's being evaluated at the NBA level. So, you got to give them some credit, but it was just frustrating because I really felt like we could, as a team, with a team defensive approach, we could maybe force them to get the ball out of the post back on the perimeter, and we didn't do a good job of that at all.
You look at it too. Antoine Davis, Sanders go off in the first half, cooled off a bit in the second half. That's true of the team as a whole. Are you surprised with the momentum that you had going into the locker room? Ish hits that big three right as the buzzer sounds at the tail end of the first half, and then you get the first bucket of the second half, go on that little 13-2 run to span things that you did. You said that, I don't know if flat's the right word, but are you surprised that momentum was squandered, so to speak?
I thought they did a good job. I thought, they're a good defensive team.
Yeah.
And they put a big 6'8" on Antoine and played him. I don't know how many minutes he played the second half, but dang, it felt like he played 17 or 18 of the 20 available minutes, and really just tried to use his length and his size. And then, Ish, they were crowding him, forcing him to dribble the ball, trying to get to the rim. And, when they take away the perimeter shot and they force you to the rim, they got a 7-footer in there waiting to block your shot, it becomes really it becomes a tough task. The closest thing that I've seen in our league to this kid, Ali, is Little at Catawba, and yet this kid is another 4 or 5 inches bigger than Little. Bigger than Little, so,
And Little doesn't have 2 other 6'8"
right.
surrounding him to help on the backside.
So I think they crowded our perimeter shot and forced us to go to the rim. And you saw, how many blocks they have?
I thought
they had 6. I'd say double that.
That was low. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say double that. So, again, the credit goes to Queens and their performance today.
How do you bounce back from this when Brevard rolls in here Wednesday night?
We'll evaluate this tape. We'll try to learn from this experience. And I'll go, look at that tomorrow. But all of our focus now shifts to the next game. You can't live on what's happened. You can learn from what's happened, but then you got to move forward. And the truth of the matter is, Brevard is a very, very good team. They scare me to death. They've got 4 kids averaging double figures. They've got a really good blend in and out. They run a really unique style. They'll be a tough opponent for us. But thankfully, we get to go back home to Holt, and hopefully that will sort of allow us a chance maybe to lick our wounds and heal up a little bit from this kind of a loss.
Chuck, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you Monday night at Gondolier for your coaches show.
Thank you.
That's Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck